What's up, guys? Vince Ryder here, aka Bboy Vinzel, LGBT Breakers. And yeah, this is going to be it. This is the World Games in Birmingham, USA, and Alabama. Alabama. And yeah, it's going to be the breaking, fight for the gold medal, knockout rounds. And these are my predictions for both B-Girls and B-Boys, okay? So pretty much for those that don't know who I am, I do B-Boy commentaries. I react and commentate to a bunch of, B-Boy battles from all sorts of events, and I just do it for fun, Ain't nothing serious. I just basically F around and just commentate on all of these battles, and usually it's my comedic expression itself, because I tend to make fun of whoever it is battling or whatever they're doing, but also I just love the culture, and I've been pretty much dancing for almost all my life. And yeah, pretty much I love, within the breaking culture, I always have been loving. I used to do like interviews and stuff like that. And I've been very adaptive. I don't know. I don't have an introduction of myself in the B-boy culture. It's just that I love it so much, and it's been, pretty much a part of my identity. My whole identity is within breaking for almost all my life. And pretty much my dream of commentating one day to the Olympics is, not really possibility, but anything's possible. Anyways, enough about that about me. Let's get into this right here. We got the breaking B-boys, okay? I got freaking on portrait mode, so apologies. And yeah, we're gonna go into this the breaking B-boys right here for the breaking for the gold. And these are my predictions, okay? And also I kind of know a couple of these B-boys and B-girls. I haven't really met them. I'm not sure if I met Morris, it's been a while, but I did somehow put them in the spotlight and actually, shout them out, and they tend to recognize me, especially Jeffro here. I did a highlight. I call him, I always give these fun nicknames for these, he call himself Papillon or, Ratty Daddy. So Ratty Daddy, Jeffro, going up against Daddy Dan, which is basically the French Jeffro, if I call it. I'm kidding, okay? Dany Dan, huge inspiration. Trio Choco all day, Caribbean boys, French Guyana. And yeah, going up against Jeffro, pretty much Jeffro from Texas. And yeah, this is gonna be an interesting battle right here. These two attitudes, I just love them, okay, so much. Dany Dan, he's always real swervy with his movements and his attitude, and how I would say very French, and very composure, how he kept his composure so much, and then he just used that just to be funny. I don't know. And Jeffro is just sleazy with it, okay? He's so smooth, he's so fast in his own energy and everything. And pretty much, I don't know, it could be Jeffro taking this. Dan might have an example. I mean, it all depends on what he's rocking, right? He's definitely good with power, and what he has in the table is freezes, and how well he can actually kill the beat. It's all about musicality at this point when it comes to these two B-boys, because that's their best energy to stretch their pointers across when it comes down to the final decision for the judges. So, but to me, I gotta cheer for Jeffro. If you know me, pretty much I'm cheering for USA at this point. My predictions in the finals would either be Morris versus Jeffro, or Victor versus Jeffro, or But we got something interesting here. Zooty Zoot versus Zach. I know Zooty Zoot, Korea's, Zooty Zoot is interesting. He has power that I never seen before. His power moves are beyond flexible, and he does it in his own flow. He has his own flow. He's they call him the Korean B-boy Magiho or something, or that. It's just he's mad spiritual with his movements. I wouldn't say spiritual, but he's powerful but spiritual by not being spiritual, because how there's some people that are beyond spiritual. Yeah, man. Yeah, looking at you, Uzi Rock. But yeah, it's he kind of with his flow and power, he just does it so well and clean. So if he can really keep his cleanness, there might be a chance that he could actually might go into the finals, because I got a feeling that Zuizut, he's a very tough competitor. Korean b-boys in general are just tough competitors, but for Zuizut, there might be a chance that he could actually be up in the finals. Going up against Zach now, I call it Zach, okay? I don't know how the right way to say it, but Bboy Zach from Spain is one of my favorites in terms of like your West European b-boys, because he's just I like how he holds himself. I like how he positions his freezes and his power, and how he saves his movements. But I still got a feeling like Zuzu definitely might take it. If Zach has enough moves in the table, then he might win. But we got one right here. Interesting battle. Phil Wizard versus Shigekix. Two b-boys that I believe that are part of Red Bull. Phil Wizard is recently part of Red Bull BC1 All Stars, and for Shigekix, he's part of Red Bull, but he's part of a bunch of sponsors. He's just been announced for Nike, and he's also been. I noticed that a bunch of b-boys here are like full on Nike real b-boys, which is cool. It's not my thing. I prefer Vans all day, but like Shigekix versus Phil Wizard. Phil Wizard is just like a beast of his own. Okay, he is like, at this point it's second nature that he breaks this long. Okay, like for a maximum of moves that he has, like it's gonna be interesting how he's gonna go up against Shigekix. Shigekix being also one of the first b-boys to actually be in the Olympic stage back in 2018, I believe, in Buenos Aires, in Argentina. That Shigekix definitely has a chance to actually take over if he has something interesting in the table. Definitely some of his power that I see on Instagram, especially most of his head spin transactions, and what he has for a little bit of footwork, but also it's mostly like power. I feel like I'm about to see a lot of power in this battle. But Phil Wizard, his flow and everything that he has built, and how he's like a big deal within breaking, of just how powerful he is in terms of his attitude. And it's always about attitude a lot of times. That's why it's hard for me to know like who's gonna win when it comes down to Jeffro and Dan, because I just love their attitudes. And for this one, I just feel like Phil Wizard might have a chance to take that, even though I noticed that Shigekix throughout the recent battles, he's been going into like the more battle side. It's kind of like the same attitude, like almost like B-Boy Lozu in a way. But Shigekix definitely might take it, but I feel like Phil Wizard. But then again, for Nike b-boys, they're just like in a whole another league. Speaking of whole another league, we got the USA battle right here, Morris versus Victor, and I'm definitely cheering for Morris. Victor is dope. He's one of the dopest out there. He might win. I don't know. It just seems like it's not a surprise seeing Victor win. But for Morris, his artillery and what Rock Force, his crew, has been building up, it feels like Morris just has an advantage of taking over. But other than that, I feel like for my predictions, it could be like, who knows? I really want Dany Dan to win throughout what he has been through. I feel like, he definitely deserves so much. And going up against like him and Phil Wizard would be a dope battle. But I feel like for me, when it comes to Team USA, it would be like Jeffro versus Morris. I do want to see that. Or Jeffro versus Victor. But I'm really hoping that Dany Dan wins, okay? So those are my predictions. 1, Dany Dan. And 2 is, Jeffro. And I guess 3 would be Morris. I definitely want to see Morris win. Even though Phil Wizard, I just get this feeling he might sneak up there and take over, and they might settle it in the semifinals. And but who knows? I'm really looking forward to the Jeffro versus Dany Dan battle. That's gonna be something else. Next is the B-Girl battle. So the B-Girls are interesting here. We got a good lineup of what we have to offer, and here I am, giving you my analysis and also who these B-Girls are, because it's going to be an interesting mix. There's some of them that I probably don't know, but some of them that I do know, and actually a good amount that I have not seen in a while. Like Ayumi. I haven't... Where has she been? Of course, any battle, any event, Ayumi just wins. She just wins. She just takes... I don't understand anymore. It's just over at this point. The judges, they see Ayumi, yep, she's the winner. She's the winner. Okay? Japanese B-Girls itself are just, are like the pioneers for how, the B-Girls, when it comes down to power and freezes and just, strength in general, they're just powerful. Okay? They're just, real with it, especially for in Japan, where these B-Girls are just, the beasts. And it's going to be interesting for Ayumi going up against Carlota, an Adidas sponsored B girl, where she's also like one of French's finest and pretty much one of the first kind of like Olympic B girls out there, also at the Buenos Aires at the Youth Olympics. But I just get this feeling that Yumi might take it. Yumi might take it, but Carlota, she definitely has to, like, throughout her training and stuff like that, like she definitely has to pull a lot of levers to actually take over Ayumi. It's just going to be an interesting battle how that will go. I don't know who's Camille is. I believe I saw her from the Belgium BC one of those ciphers, I believe. But yeah, Camille going up to Ami. I feel like Ami might take it if I got to be honest. Ami from Japan and Camille, like I don't know, she might take it. Let's just see what she has. I think like from what I do know about Camille, I know her style a little bit. She has like I think she's part of Style Invaders. And Style Invaders, like their style is interesting. It's pretty dope. Like Jigsaw, if you ever heard of him, they have this very thready, very like low effort thread style. If I gotta be honest, it's not bad. It's just that it doesn't really take a lot of effort, especially Morris. Not American Morris, but they have like another b-boy in Belgium named Morris, and this guy, he just does treads, and he just does it with the lowest effort, just like. It's just like, what the heck is that? I think I'm just so used and sanitized when it comes down to very powerful b-boys and b-girls at this point. But it's not every day you see a very thready, kind of like, low effort, like I'm doing this move, ooh, like details and stuff like that. And I kind of see that a lot, especially through Camille, if I'm correct, because I'm kind of like, judging her based on her crew, especially within Belgian b-boys in general, which, if I got to be honest, Belgium has been making a lot of noise within the b-boy, b-boy world and the b-girl world. It's just that there has such a diversity of so many. And I don't know what it is within Belgium that actually can really make that happen. But it's like they have so much style and so much events, so much history within breaking. It's kind of crazy at this point. Okay, they might as well be the Bronx of Europe. But it's like, Camille itself, like, she could definitely pull something if it makes sense. She has like enough power to go up against Ami, enough freezes, or maybe being a battle cat going up against Ami with the real smokeness, you know what I'm saying? She might take it, but Ami, like, she's just up in another league. She's powerful. She got power. She got freezes. She got the best battle kind of like form. And due to her stance as well within the battle world, like, I just feel like she might win. I feel like Japan might take the gold. If I got to be honest, Japan seems like a real competitor. So it's going to be interesting if this, the right side is going to take over. But for me, like, Camille might have a chance, but Ami definitely might win. And also Ayumi. It's just like it might be, they might go up head to head in the semifinals. For the right side of this bracket, Jilou versus Sunny. And Bgirl Sunny, she's an interesting one. Like, I just kind of see her. I remember, like, she's usually within the New York area, especially her being from New York. I believe, I don't know where she's originally from or where she lives. All I know is that I've seen her in a lot of New York events, especially around B-Boy Network. But, she's going up against Jilou. And Jilou, being part of Team Nike, like, she is, like, basically the Wonder Woman within breaking. She's like the real, like, top there, like, the Simone Biles of breaking. Like, she's basically almost like, the GOAT in a way. It's like she's really up there, really high up in terms of what her, team status and what, the luxury that she has within breaking. Like, she is just like one of the best at this point. And it's going to be interesting how her strength will go up against Sunny. And Sunny itself, like, I don't know, like, I feel like, especially like me seeing Jilou and trying to compare these two, like, Sunny, I don't know, they might, like, she doesn't seem like she has enough moves to go up against Jilou, in my opinion. I don't know. All I can think about is like that up break, hollow back to footwork. And then she also is good with power, but she also can do stuff with her elbows and stuff like that. A lot of power freezes and, the footwork and everything, and just a good amount of snarkiness that she brings to the table, which I like. And Jilou could definitely, reel that in and just go with her, like, power and flexibility and her battle attitude, and also mixed with power and just, freezes as well, because those tend to actually vary, who would actually definitely take it when it comes to this battle. In other words, Jilou might win. I really want to cheer for Sunny. But who knows? She might take it, but it's gonna take a lot out of her, and I don't know if she has enough for like the semis or even the goal, or the main finals. So it's gonna be interesting how this will really be. What's the come out about all this when it comes down. But then we got this another knockout round here within the last battle that I'm gonna talk about, which is Kink Quingui versus Tiff. I don't speak Chinese, y'all. I may look Chinese, but I don't speak it. Okay, you feel me? Like, I don't know, Tiff. Like, she's. I like how she really positions herself with just like how she does, like her movements. It's I'll never forget that her, like, with her signature. What is it, like a flare to 2000? But the way she does it, it's almost so fitting. It just feels so right. Like, there's something about Canadian b-boys and b-girls that they have such good positioning. They have such good transition and just how they, cooperate their movements in such a way where it's placed so perfectly. And I see that truth, Tiff. Hopefully going up against China, because I don't know what's going on in China, okay? There's really a good amount of b-boys and b-girls, very well-known ones with their own styles, and ones that are just like, it just feels a lot of underground every time I do try to seek it, because a lot of it is not allowed here in American, like, media, understandably. But, I can just call her that because I can't say the name. Like, I don't know anything about her. Really don't. I'm sorry, okay? So if anything, Tiff might take this, okay? That's the best for me. But if I gotta say who's gonna win this for tree predictions, I would say that, like, I really want Carlota to win. That would be dope. If definitely it's gonna be a full-on Japanese bracket, Ayumi and Ami definitely might take this. But Jilou, like, I got a feeling that she could actually be in third place or be up in there in the first place, or in second place, somewhere around there. So definitely, like, Jilou and also Ayumi and Ami might be somewhere in the finals. That's my predictions. And if anything, this is where I actually give my main winner. So, and I'm saying this because I kind of forgot, like, who is the first of the wins that I'm going to give it to. So, if I got to cheer for anyone here, I feel like who's definitely going to take first place, if I had to be honest and biased at the same time, I feel like Jeffro might take it. I'm going for Jeffro. It's either Morris, because those tend to go head to head, and I do want to see Dany Dan win. That would be so dope. But I feel like Jeffro might take it. And for this one as well, I feel like it's Ayumi. Ayumi wins every time I see her in any. It doesn't matter how many b-boys or b-girls in any bracket. Doesn't matter what's the challenge. Doesn't matter how many rounds. She just wins. She just wins. It's just like she's invincible. She does things like I don't get it. Like, she just takes over. That's Japan, I guess. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, and jazz. And yeah, let the games begin.